perfume. And if you are going for an interview, or if you are meeting her for the very first time, or meeting him for the very first time, this is what you need to wear. My God, if you are going for a job interview, hey, don't ever start it without going to get the spirit of Timbuktu line of perfumes. If you are a lady, get the Nefertiti. If you are a man, get the Dinga Sise or the Ndeura Jakpa. My God, after the interview, you can call me and thank me. Everybody's going to be smiling. You would even be asked, oh, what perfume are you wearing? Please tell them the secret. It is Spirit of Timbuktu. Now, Okujepisa is located right there inside North Legon, Wisconsin Road, inside the Okujepisa building, or inside East Legon, Adringano, just after Kahaya. Please call Okujepisa on 0242-250-574. That is 0242-250-574. Proud sponsor of the segment known as the African History Class, and of course, the Black Pot. Thank you so much. Today, our class is going to be very simple. And I want to say thank you so much to all the wonderful students in the class today. We appreciate you and we love you. Oh my God, what a class. Today's class is full, oh my God, to capacity. We love all of you, Kuchoko soldiers, and all the wonderful people right here in the class. We will run the roll very, very soon. But in the interim, this is what it is, the African History Class. But today, several years ago, African people put themselves on the map of history. This is what is referred to as today in African history. Let me run you through just a few of them so that we will know exactly what today is. Now, today is the 9th day of May. You all know that, right? Let me see if I ask those who don't know that today is the 9th day of May. All right, good. So everybody knows that, right? All right, so let's do it like this. Today in 1876, Sojourner Truth delivered a speech to the first annual meeting of the American Equal Rights Association, championing for the rights of all people. Today in 1974, same year Blakk Rasta was born. The House Judiciary Committee opened hearings to decide whether to recommend the impeachment of President Nixon in the Watergate controversy or not. Now, two blacks, Republican John Conyers of Michigan and Republican Barbara Jordan of Texas, were members of the committee. Oh my God. So because black people were there, today made history. Now, today in 1862, the General Hunter, in fact, General Hunter of Union Army issued a proclamation freeing the slaves of Georgia. Today in 1994, I was only 20 years old. Kimberly Clarence Aiken Cockham, aka Miss America 1994, was the 5th black woman to win the crown. And what's her name? Kimberly Clarence Aiken Cockham. What a name, my brother, my sister. And today in 2001, and that's why I decided to take you through this. The Accra Sports Stadium disaster occurred at the Ohenijan Stadium, Accra. Today, it happened, oh my God, have mercy, in 2001. It took the lives of 126 people, making it the worst stadium disaster to have ever taken place in Africa. It is also the 3rd deadliest disaster in the history of association football, behind the Estadio Nacional disaster and Kanjuruhan Stadium disaster. Oh my God, have mercy. Yes, and Accra House of Oak was playing House of Oak. Today in 2001, oh my God, 126 people lost their lives because of the unprofessional behavior of officials. In fact, refereeing and at the same time police intervention, oh my God, caused 126 people to lose their lives, and many more were injured. No Ghanaian wants to remember this date, but of course, history is history. It comes back at you like a mad dog. My name is Blakk Rasta. Thank you so much to this wonderful class. Now today, the class starts like this, and as I said, it will last only 5 minutes. Today, my brother, my sister, we're talking about something that I will need you to pronounce along with me. The Okujepisa Omukazendu. Okujepisa Omukazendu. Repeat after me. Okujepisa Omukazendu. Now, what is the meaning of this? Does anybody know in the class? Okujepisa Omukazendu. Okujepisa Omukazendu. And the spelling is for Okujepisa, Okujepisa. Omukazendu is Omukazendu. Okujepisa Omukazendu. Now it simply means the culture of wife swapping. The culture of wife swapping. The culture of wife swapping. It's going to be an interesting thing to discuss. Now, it is done amongst the people of North Namibia and some other parts of Africa, including some parts of Angola and even South Africa, amongst the ethnic group known as the Ovahimba. Now, the Ovahimba people, as you can see in this photograph, those of you who are in the African history class, my producer has posted this photograph. They are a people who like to paint their faces with red sand. Technical name red ochre, and ochre is spelled O-R-C-A, red ochre. In fact, if you study history so deep and you want to go into the history of religion, the very first instances of religion, you can never do away with red ochre. We will find time and go into religion one of these days. But in the interim, these are the people known as the Ovahimba people. In fact, they paint their faces with red sand, aka red ochre, to make them look more beautiful. The women use that as makeup and also for protection of their skin. And when you touch their skin, it is very, very, very solid and beautiful and well nourished. These are the Ovahimba people. In short, we call them the Himba people of North Namibia. Now they have a certain culture known as Okujepisa Omukazendu. Okujepisa Omukazendu. Now, what is this culture? It's known as the wife swapping culture. Now, anytime a visitor comes in to visit, and this visitor is a male, what it is that the person that the visitor comes to, or the guest comes to, or better still, known as the host, would have to feed him and feed him well. On that day, they slaughter one of these two animals, a cow or a ram. No goat, no fowl, no. For as long as the host remains host to the guest, they will slaughter a ram or a cow. And the interesting thing is that if it is a cow that has been slaughtered, the guest is not supposed to be in the house up till the time that all the meat will be consumed. When you realize that the meat is getting finished, it means it is time for you to leave. But that is not why we are telling you this story. Why we are telling you the story of the Himba people of North Namibia and some parts of Angola and South Africa is this. Okujepisa Omukazendu is a wife swapping culture of the Himba people. Now, when the man arrives, apart from slaughtering these animals and cooking well for the man, the host is supposed to give his wife to the visitor. In fact, the interesting thing is this. If the host stays in one room with his wife and the guest comes in, they are all supposed to share the same room. But he will sleep on the floor, and the guest and his wife will sleep on the mat or on the bed. And it is compulsory that they have sex. AKA, it is compulsory that they make love. So if you are a member of the Himba ethnic group and you are a woman, now you must know that anytime your husband has a male visitor, you are going to service this male visitor. And listen to this part of the story. The wife is always happy to serve the guest. And two things happen. Either the man will lie down in the room and be watching his wife being serviced and be able to take all the morning, or another thing would happen. But before I tell you the other thing, the husband is supposed to be able to tell the guest, oh, this is what my wife likes when it comes to bedmatics. This is what you do. This is what you don't do. This is what you have to do. And whilst his wife is being serviced, he is supposed to also be lying down and be coaching the man in case he's not doing it right. And it behoves the woman to say, after the servicing, that she enjoyed it or not. And most of the time, the woman is supposed to be able to tell the man, oh, this was what the guest did that was different from yours. Could you upgrade your game? Now, if the husband is not going to be with them in the same room, listen to what happens next. The wife would choose one of her friends, married or unmarried, and arrange for her husband to go all the way to the house of this young woman, married or unmarried, to also be serviced. My brother, my sister, this is what is called Okujepisa, Omukazendu. Now, what is the importance of this? It brings about unity, and it also brings about friendliness and casts away promiscuity. At the same time, it gives men the power to decide what their women should do, and it casts away boredom. One man, one wife. No. It gives the woman the opportunity to also be serviced by different men, and the man the opportunity to also be serviced by different women. Now, when pregnancy comes, the Himba people do not care who is the father of the child. The child becomes a family member, and whoever impregnated their wives does not matter. The most important thing is that their wife is having a child, and the husband is going to take care of the wife. This is the African history class. And today we're talking about the Okujepisa or Omukazendu amongst the Vahimba people. Now listen to this. Now when the guest finally leaves, they will decide when the man would also pay a visit. And of course, it has to happen. Oh my God. So imagine that you realize that there is a man who has a very beautiful wife. All you need to do is to visit the man almost every now and then, and automatically his wife becomes yours. But in modern times, Okujepisa or Omukazendu has been discussed in the Namibian parliament, and they are looking at scrapping it. But some MPs are fighting to keep it because they claim that this culture is unique to the Ovahimba people, and once they are enjoying it, why must it be scraped? Now the Ovahimba people in North Namibia are happy about it, and the women are happy to tell their friends how the guest was good, and how the guest performed so well, and how they wish the guest will continue coming over and over. Today, my brother, my sister, I have the privilege to talk to you about this strange African culture called Okujepisa or Omukazendu. Oh my God, have mercy. And I'm most excited to be with you. Now in the burden of knowledge, I ask you, now that you know what to do, be an any olea mini obafe, ye zunda kagane mezaka yine, ye pa bango bokaya na, fifi aye nyanu kaina wo, bana ehu, ebe den, bana ehu, ebe ya bade, lele anjima singa be konne, lele anjima singa beri. It's been the African history class.
The emperor, the conqueror, the champion, the lion is here.